going on, everybody? We're just getting out here and getting all set up here for the evening walleye bite. And one of the biggest things that we do out here for an evening walleye bite is use tip-ups. Tip-ups are a really good way to allow you to have an extra line out while jigging. Here in Minnesota, we're allowed 2 lines, and so we utilize the tip-ups for that. And the other thing that helps too is a tip-up is always stationary. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working a weed edge right here. There's a really good cabbage flat up here. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be staggering the tip-ups off of that weed line as we go. And we're going to just make a nice line of them right along that edge of that cabbage. And the thing is the tip-ups are really effective towards evening. And what we're going to be using is we've got them tipped with a bare treble hook. And what we're going to be using on that is a light pike sucker. So light pike suckers early season for walleyes on these aggressive walleyes is a really good way to utilize the tip-ups and hammer some big walleyes. So that's kind of the game plan for tonight as far as the tip-up side of it. We're also going to be jigging lines and getting them after that way too. But so yeah, I mean, make your spread out a little bit, make your spread a little bigger, work some bigger areas, and it'll tell you where the fish are. I will actually take the sucker, and they're really wily. They got some kick to them, and they can, you know, they got a lot of movement to them. But what I like to do is I like to take and cut the tail off of the sucker. Just cut a little piece off, and what that does is it keeps those minnows from really being able to kick off real hard, you know, like 6 inches at a time. Because what we're doing is we got a weight above our hook. So with that being said, you know, that gives them 6 inches to play with. Well, if you cut that tail just a little bit, just enough, that'll keep that minnow from being able to take off real fast on that walleye, and it'll give them just a nice big easy meal to come latch onto. So that's the game plan here, especially towards evening. Tip-ups are a really effective way to fish. They spread everything out for you. It gives you a lot of area to fish with, and it gives you an extra line when you're jigging as well. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get this baby rigged up and hopefully pluck a few walleyes out of this cabbage. So what I like to do is I like to take and I like to cut that tail off of that sucker. And what that does is it takes and it keeps that thing from swimming off on those walleyes real hard. So even just a little bit like that keeps them from moving real hard. So the best thing to do is just take and hook them up, and we can get this one down and she's ready to roll. What I like to do is I like to keep my tip-ups, we're in 9 feet of water. Out here we got really good water clarity, so what I like to do when you got better water clarity is I like to keep those minnows off bottom about, you know, a foot. That gives you a little more visual to those walleyes to be able to see from a distance. Now if it's a little murkier water, sometimes it's better to be a little closer to bottom because walleyes tend to be a bottom traveling fish. So but just play with it. If you've got clean water, try raising that up a little bit. Gives those walleyes a little easier target to see from a little bit further distance, and you know, you just never know, so you just got to play with it a little bit and figure it out. Well, we're going to get this one set up. As you can see, I'm in about 9 feet of water, and that right there is about 8 feet of water. So we're going to pull this out, nestle her in. We're ready to rock and roll.